Hey guys, happy Friday. It's operations time over here in SoCal. A little bit of winter time ops. It's 85 degrees outside right now. Well, I know. I gotta rub it in a little bit there. So anyway, we're gonna be doing some operations over here, and this is gonna be a fun one because we are gonna be running down to Huntington Beach in Westminster. We're gonna be switching out some tank cars over at SoCal Oil, which, if you don't know, you'll see it over there, but it's the larger facility is SoCal Edison, and off in the corner we have SoCal Oil, which is sort of industry within an industry. There was a little spot there. I had one of those little, oil kind of pump deals, and I just put it over there and said, hey, you know what? Maybe it gets oil cars, and they, fill them up with oil. So anyway, they have a spot within SoCal Edison, and let me get the train rolling over here before I start talking too much. Hold on, let's get this going over here. So we're taking, you can't quite see them there, but inside here is our line of cars, starting with this brown one, and we got to take, let's see here, Mr. Sanford is going to be conducting today, Engineer Rick is going to be inside, and Benjamin is going to be sitting up there. Oops. I don't know what that was. I pushed the wrong button. All right. Engineer, what am I saying? Benjamin's sitting inside, or on the hood. Engineer Rick is sitting inside, running the train. Here we go. Let's roll this guy out of here. And we're going to pick up that line of cars. I got to check that box car. Well, he's going to SoCal Edison. I got all my cards. And we're actually going to be running 2 trains today, so this is going to be a little bit of a fun ops session. Let me wait till that guy kind of gets out of here, and then we'll back in, grab our cars. There we go. There's Mr. Sanford, and Benjamin likes to ride up on the hood there as the hood ornament. Right there, let's put this back here. Well, I guess we put it back here. There we go. Ooh, yeah, anyway, yeah, it's 85 degrees here today. I was going to try, right there's good, I was going to try to do this video a little bit earlier, but I think I'll work on the lawn. It's that time of year over here where, it cools off, and so it's kind of our growing season now. So I put some grass seed down, all that stuff, kind of trying to rehab my lawn, because I was going to do all DG, but then I was walking with my neighbor in the morning. We walk Benjamin and we kind of go for our daily walks, and they were like, yeah, your lawn looks like crapola, dude. So I ended up going to Lowe's. I think we got all our cars. Let's give it a stretch here. Yes, we do. Okay, so yeah, I went to Lowe's, and got grass seed fertilizer, blah, 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 all this mumbo jumbo. Oh my goodness. And I've been spending a whole morning down there before it got, a little bit warmer, doing that. So now I can get to finally running this train. I almost ran this train yesterday. I was going to film this thing yesterday, but just, more stuff got in the way. Now, like I said, we have got 4 cars here. So the box car is going to SoCal Edison, right? Pretty easy. There's a box car already in the industry. We're just going to switch it out. But now we got 3 tank cars, and there's only one spot over there. So 2 of these are going to have to go into an off spot. Let's roll on over here, because we got to do a little detour here. Actually, I got to get a sip of my coffee here. There we go. See? Ben and Rick, there we go, drinking coffee, running trains. It's kind of funny too. Let me get that up, because after working on the lawn, I got everything settled and put away, and then I figured I had to eat lunch, take a shower, and I put my, since I'm recording, I put my my train layout t-shirt on, I got a t-shirt from Tehachapi. Okay, now here's well, let me do this one thing at a time. So I got a t-shirt from let me see if you can see this. Hopefully, all right, I'll flip my little lens thing around so I can actually see it. Hello guys. Anyway, I got this t-shirt and it has you know, Tehachapi loop. It's got a bunch of stuff on the back which I can't show you because I'll drop the camera. But anyway, the funny thing is, you know, you're old enough to run model trains when your train shirt has got a Metamucil stain on it. There you go, right there. Actually, I think it might be a popsicle, but it's probably, well, I'm going to say it's a popsicle drop, but it's more likely I dropped some Metamucil while I was sucking that down. All right, anyway. Oh my goodness. All right, back to running trains. So we gotta actually take the siding over here because after working on the what do you call it, my little fascia throws, which we'll get to also, I had to do a little bit of cleanup, and on one of them I can't remember if I actually got to show you. I did do one additional fascia throw over there, and it's the one that's sort of goes down to Huntington Beach, right in Westminster. We'll take a look at it here in a second as soon as we pull through the siding here. Because we got to pause here and go run another train. All right, right there is good. All right, let's see. I guess you go minimize the headlights and take the ditch lights off. We'll let that guy sit over there. Now, yeah, so this turnout right here, that's the one. We go left and we go down to Westminster here, where we're going to be doing switching, and all the way down to Huntington Beach. So I did do a little throw for that one too, but in the process of doing it, when I was coming up through the bottom of the layout there, I did kind of pop through into the track, and so the track kind of popped up and off of the, you know, ballast and everything, and so I had to kind of re-glue the ballast down there, put some more you know, 50/50 white glue and so forth, and but it's got it working and everything like that. So anyway, after that, I had to send the other crew down here. Mr. Torres and the new guy came down with the maintenance away train, which you can see. Let me give you a closer look over here, and we got a cleaning car right there, so that's got a little scrubber there on the bottom of it, and we took another car with some tools in there. That's a little tester there just to test the track. You know, it's got a little LED on it and so forth. So these guys were down here checking track, and of course, knowing Mr. Torres, he had to stop over here at the little taco stand, get his tacos. So here we go. Here's my light. See my little LED light thing? Part of the strip kind of goes out. I have no idea why. There's gonna be a little bit of everything in this video, and it's right about here. See? I don't know what I got to do. There. Really? I don't want to replace the entire strip, but all right, I don't know. If I get it working, it works okay like that. There we go. Put the camera back down. Let's get these guys fired up because they need to get the heck out of here. Actually, I'm going to silence the guy behind us just so we don't have too many locomotives going at once. Let me grab this consist, get these guys fired up, and we got to run these guys back to the yard first. So let me grab a skewer here. Mr. Torres indoctrinating into his bad habits the new guy. They were supposed to be back already. Oop, what am I doing here? Wrong one. I cut loose the cars over here, and there we go. Let me get this flipped over. These guys can get on the other side of the maintenance away cars, We'll get them back to the yard, and then we can continue on with our switching. This is all that sort of fun stuff you can have on your model layout. Yes, oh boy. You know, you never plan these things, but you know, when a situation arises, especially if I'm doing some maintenance or something like that, I like to take advantage of the opportunity there to switch things up and kind of run stuff a little bit differently. Come on, let's go. And the guys are running late. I see Carl is over here. He's going to come into the picture here. We gotta have Carl come over to do to remove the blue flag into the industry right here, which you can see sticking up right there. Whoop, look at this. That's me screwing around and uncoupling, unfortunately, the locomotives. There we go. They are consistent together pretty good, but obviously you can never get it perfect. So if they decouple, they do kind of either tend to separate, or you know, one runs a little bit faster than the other one. All right, I'm gonna put the camera down here. Let's get this thing going here. Anyway, hope everybody has had a good week. Like I said, it's been nice over here in SoCal. Today, I think today or this weekend's supposed to be, we're going to be in the mid-80s every week, or every day. But generally it's been, you know, about 80 degrees or so. 82. Today, just when I came out here, and it is, what is the time? It's 12:50, just after lunch here. And yeah, I noticed the temperature thing said it was 85, so I feel for all of you elsewhere. Not really, because it's, hey, yeah, you're choosing to live there, so I'm just messing with you guys. Don't worry, I get it. I'm from the East Coast originally anyway, so... Oh, you know what? I just figured something else out. So our little track cleaning car right here, this guy does not have a coupler on this end. All right, let's see, what can we do here? Here, you guys watch Mr. Torres and the new guy right there. Ooh, there we go. Hey, we're ready to go. Everything's back in action. Anyway, yeah, I used to live, I grew up on the East Coast, so I know all about the snow, all about the nor'easters, all about the blizzards, all that good stuff, all about the freezing temps. Hence why I now live in the lovely communist state of California. I'm kidding, actually. California's great. We got our share of fruits and nuts, but you know what? We got a whole lot of other people in California. We get kind of a bad rap. I know I'm going to sing the praises of California now, but the way I look at it, you know, we are so big, and only the worst portions of California are usually sort of reflected by the rest of the country. But think of it this way, you know, if you, how many nutcases do you have living in your state, right? And then how many, you know, normal people do you have living in your state? And you can decide what's normal and what so forth. And we don't get political over here too much, but you know what I mean. Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna fix that. Boop, there we go. All right, now we gotta run down here, but I'm gonna try and make this as fast as I can. This is the other turnout I gotta do. Oh my goodness, that one's a tricky one. That'll be the next one I do probably. Oh wait a minute, hold on, I forgot. We already took the, we took the other train down the siding. So this guy has gotta go down the main line. All right. right there. See, jabbering too much. Anyway, back along my little train of thought there, pun intended. So let's say you got like, 10% of your population someplace are nuts, whatever you decide that means, and 90% are, just your average normal folk, and then you take your population. So let's say, I don't know, let's say you got a state that has like 1 million people in it or something. Now, I don't know what it is. I'm just making these numbers up. But let's say you got 1 million people. So let's see, 10% of that would be 100,000, right? So you got 100,000 nuts, right? And then you got 900,000, well, normal people. Now, what I'm going to do here, as I digress with my philosophical discussion, I'm going to go ahead and shut this guy down. Brakes. Just so we don't make this video too long. Alright, now we're going to grab our other train here, which is still running. Ooh, got a meat. I think this is the first meat we've had on the layout over here. Anyway, back to our little discussion there. So, so if you live in a state like that, which, has a certain population. Now, California, I think we've got like 30 million or something like that, people, right? And, so 10% of 30 million is, quite a few nutcases, right? But also, we got a whole heck of a lot of good people. You know what I'm getting at? It's, I don't know. All right, enough of that talk. Let's get back to running trains over here. We gotta flip that guy. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to make the video too long, and I don't want to be jabbering her out, whatever. All that other stuff. This is a train channel about train stuff. So, anyway, let's get back to that. Alright, so we're gonna run this guy through, and while he's coming in, you can see we've got this guy here for our turnout back there, which works lovely, and we also have our turnout over here, which works very nice. Ooh, I love it. It's a little stiffy there. I had a little trouble with it, but it works fine. Good enough. Well, I know what I was going to say. I have the locks here, and sometimes, I've thought about making these locks. This is for the conductor to get out, and speaking of, conductor's got to stop the train, or engineer does. Make them actually functional, make them actually lock the lock thing, so that you are forced to use the lock in order to throw the switch. I've thought of that, but sometimes I just want to get out here and run, and I don't want to like kind of actually do that all the time. So like, for instance now, we're not actually doing that, we're just kind of simulating it. So let me put that like that, and Mr. Sanford is back on board. Let's keep on going down here. And boy, oh boy, I don't even know if we're going to finish this switch, and this is getting very complicated now, come to think of it. When I was thinking about this, I was only thinking about the tank cars. Now we got 2 off-spot tank cars, but now we got that box car too. Let me see which way we're going to go down over here. I'm going to put the camera down. Oh, I would love to do this turnout on the fascia, but it kind of is sitting right on top of where the sections come together. So there's a whole bunch of whatever 1x3s over here. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to try to. If I put one there on the fascia, it'll have to be, kind of, I don't know, I'd have to figure something out with maybe one of those blue switch things, which I've got a whole bunch of them, or possibly, a tortoise kind of deal. All right, so let's see what we got to do here. So as far as the industry, only 2 cars to pick up. We got this box car right here. Is getting picked up, and we can see that in the box right there. SoCal Edison is labeled for, Yeah, is labeled for West Colton, which is staging. And then the box for this little industry right here, this little industry within an industry, they pump out Texas tea, except it's California latte, stored in the tanks, then transferred over to here, and then we pick it up, right? That guy is actually right over here, so this is how that works, and he is getting picked up. So that is that little BNSF. Don't ask me why. They lent us the tanker and said, sure, you can fill it up with crude. That's got to come out too. So, yeesh, what a mess over here. I don't know what to do. I have not thought about this at all. But as always, let's get everything out first. So we're going to disconnect right over here. Actually, I'm going to put the camera someplace where you can see something. I'm going to move this little guy because he rolls around, just so we don't block the view too much over there. I moved him when I was cleaning, because I did clean in here. Somebody was making fun of me, or giving me some, ribbing me about my cleaning track comments. But yeah, I did kind of come in here. I cleaned everything up, so hopefully we don't have too many troubles. This stuff just collects dust. I think the thing is that the track is in the pavement, and so, when it's out over here just ballasted, it tends to, the dust just doesn't collect, on the rail so much. I don't know, over here it just kind of builds up right in the little groove. All right, Carl, get over here. There we go, we got Carl back. We gotta get a car for Carl. He's got the blue flag out. Let's go ahead and throw our turnout here. Let's get in there, get that tank car out first. One at a time. Well, actually, come to think of it, we can we get both? Can we get both this guy here and the tank car? No, we got two locomotives, can't do that. So, yeah, we gotta get the tank car out first. Over there, let me bring you in a little closer here. Alright, turnouts look good over here, and like I said, I did clean in here, so I wiped them down and did a little vacuuming and that sort of thing. Yeah, you should be able to see that. Looks good. Although this video is getting long, as I knew it was going to be. So I'm gonna have to do a battery change. Oh, right there, we got him. All right, we'll pull this guy out. Brakes off there, Engineer Rick. Learn to run the locomotives. Anyway, so it's been a little while since I have run this industry, meaning it was SoCal, this whole little area right here. And as we run out, I'm going to take a little quick pause right here, change my battery, and be right back. All right, new battery in the camera, and I actually put the camera in the freezer for a few minutes to cool it down. And while that was happening, look what came in the mail. Got the new, let me see here, let me pick this up while we run out. Got the new model railroader, and look what's on the cover. Operate like Rick. Operate like the pros, right? Ideas from Lance Minheim. Improve realism. I can't wait to jump into that. We're gonna have some fun reading that tonight, because, as you know, I am a follower of Lance's methodologies and all that kind of good stuff. That's what this whole layout is sort of built like. Now, speaking of, let's see, trying to operate like a pro, I gotta figure out what to do with this car. Let me see. We can stick it on the back of our incoming box car, and then get rid of that. And then we got to come down there. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do here is we'll switch that over. We'll back her up over here. Ooh, this is going to be tight. Let me see if this is even going to work. Yeah, we're going to have to make it work because all the little scenarios of how to do this is going through my head, and I don't know. Anyway, we're going to shove back into this and give us a little bit of room here. I know, see, now we're following the turnout way back there. A little bit more there, Engineer Rick. All right, we got our first pickup done. Now we got to get this little boxcar right here. Because now that the tank car is out of the way there at SoCal Oil, we can fit our 2 locomotives and the boxcar all the way back there for the turnout. Always fun. It always amazes me every time I run this little section here how complicated it is. And it always reminds me. I had a I don't know, some viewer when I was building Orange. They said, the layout, the configuration of the Orange section of the layout over there is similar to, well, this section and the section behind me. But man, do they operate totally differently. Even though generally the track layout is somewhat similar, just a little change here and there, and just the size of the industry here. You can see this one industry takes up pretty much the whole thing. And the length of your track that you have available to work things is, man, it just makes things so much interesting here. Like if I was to get rid of one section, because we have, this section here with, Huntington Beach all the way down to the end here. And then we've got the section we ran through over here. And then we have La Mirada over there. If I was to get rid of any one or just keep one section, it would be this one. Because it's so damn, well, I'm sorry for the French there, but it's so interesting to do this. It's so complicated, I got a simple industry and a complicated industry. And if you switch, depending on what you're switching out together, it can get kind of crazy. Sort of like this, where we got to really think about what we are doing here. I don't want to jinx us, but so far, track working good. Haven't seen any headlights flickering or anything like that. And let me pick you up over here again. So back over here, now we have got enough room for the 2 locomotives, and we just clear the turnout right there. You can see we have we got the stop right there. That's as far as we can go. I'm gonna put you down. Well, actually, I'm gonna put you down all the way over here. There we go. Because this is a little trick I learned after operating this thing for a million times. We can use all of the track that we got over here, and this track right here in the foreground there to your left, right over here, even though that's the incoming lead for reliable lumber, well, this little portion of the track technically is, well, it's ours, right? It's the railroad's. The industry track doesn't start until right underneath the camera over here when it goes by the taco stand, right? Here's where the industry lead starts, right here, right? That is company track. At least that's the way it works in my little make-believe world here. So we can use this to drop off our little pickup right here. And then, what's that? Something's jumping around. And then we can try to figure out, right there is good. Then we can try to figure out what we're going to be doing. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, there we go. Now we got to run back in. Oop, the other way, Engineer Rick. Hold on. All right, at least we didn't couple on again. All right. Now we got to run back in because we have got to initially, our next deal is to drop off that boxcar, which is going over here. So we got to run in, do a quick run around, get on the other side of our train. What am I doing here? Hold on, let me think about this. I have no idea why I did that. So much for, you know, operating like a pro, huh? Oh, I know what we did. We needed to come in here so that we can change that turnout. See, I didn't screw up. So that we can actually make it back out onto the main line over here. Right? Because now we actually got to grab all those cars. There we go. I'm going to put the camera down here. We can change that. Now remember, we're following the turnout all the way back at the end there towards the right. So we got to pull this whole line of cars in a little bit. Otherwise we can't do our runaround. Bang, right there. All right. Let's pull these guys forward. Let me think if I want to do something different. I don't think so. I think I'll give you kind of a bigger picture here. So I think, let's see, so if we leave that right there, actually, you know what, I'm gonna shove it back just a little bit because that BNSF tank car right there is good. When we do our runaround, we're gonna do the same thing with that tank car that we picked up. We're gonna place it over here. There's just enough room for that little box car and the tank car. So we'll leave it. We're not following the track there. We are ahead of the turnout here for the reliable lumber lead. I'm gonna bring you back here. All right, whew. Man, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but like I said, it can get interesting over here. And if you're really playing around, operating like a pro, well, we would have to unlock the lock over here. Mr. Stanford would. Throw the switch. You can see where this little operation here, literally, we're switching out technically one industry, 2 cars, and, you know, 2 pickups. This will take you all night if you were to kind of run it, you know, in sort of real time. Like, I could easily make this probably like an hour and 45-minute video. I don't know how long this is going to be to start out with now. All right, there we go. That's enough. Yeah, that's another turnout. Got to do that one. It's in the plans there. Hold on there, Benjamin. Don't fall off. All right, so the plan here next, we're gonna get on this other side of the train, and then I gotta let the camera cool off now, so I gotta pause again. But we'll at least run it all the way up here. Let me see, check our turnout. No, we're gonna stop over there. All right, I'm gonna get on the other side of the train, but let me show you. I'm gonna pause right there for now. So the next thing we're doing, we're gonna get on the other side of the train. We're gonna take all 3 of these drop-offs and stick them on the other track. Then we're gonna come up behind with the locomotives. We're gonna be over here. We'll get rid of this guy over here with that guy. Then we can come in with this guy into the industry over here and then shove him back over to one of these 2 tracks wherever he's supposed to go. And then we'll go from there. All right, but camera needs a little break here. Be back in a sec. All right there, cool the camera down. We're ready to keep going here. Let's get that one switched over. And we shall run our locomotive over to the backside and see if we can get this plan to actually work. Yay. Man, you know, it's toasty here. Like I said, it's 85 or something. I didn't look at the temperature when I ran inside, but I did put the camera in the freezer. Ooh, it feels nice and cool as I'm holding it. All right, we'll run back here. I'm gonna put you down right over here, right back here, because we're gonna switch. I'm gonna switch that turnout, make believe like you know, we had already done that guy right there. We'll come up to the back here. Ooh, did we get a good connection? Well, not quite. Maybe we'll get it once we start shoving here a little bit. Oh, come on. All right, back it up. Ooh, there we go. There we go. All right, let's swing this down here. And as you can see, we are coming down our little industrial lead. Try to keep that in frame for you. All right, and hopefully we can get these two guys connected up. They're a little cockeyed, but we'll deal with that later. Right there, just enough there. We got plenty of room here for the end of the street, and I think we're good to clear everything. Ooh, let's pause right here. I gotta put you down because I gotta get the skewer. Alrighty. Let's see, we are disconnecting that. Brakes off, let's pull back. There we go. Oh, you're like looking at a tree. Very exciting. Alright, so now what we can do is we can actually, let's see here, let me think about this. Yeah, a lot of running around. I'm trying to figure out if I could leave this thing somewhere, because we got to drop one of these guys off over here too, but one thing at a time. We're not in any rush, right? We'll leave our box car right here. We're going to take all our tank cars and put them on the runaround track. And then we can come back in and get our boxcar put away. Now, watching the track over there, seeing if I'm going to short anything out. Nope. So far, so good. Ooh, right there's good. All right. I know I hate having to put the camera down all this time, but can't help it. Yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was thinking, where are we going to put the two cars, because they're going to be technically off-spot cars, and I know just where we're going to put them. But for now, we're going to drop all three of them off right here. You know, because I was thinking, since we're only doing one box car over here, can we put them over here? And SoCal Edison said, negative. You can't put your the cars over here. This is our business, right? So we got to put them in an off spot someplace. Luckily, as we inch on over there, you can see we have an empty box right here, and that is for that end of the line sort of track right there. That's in front of the graffitied up wall, and we can leave them right there, and that will be our off spot. All right, let's disconnect here. Ooh, watch out there, Mr. Sanford. All right, we're gonna notch it up over here. Let's get this show on the road. This is taking forever, man. Hope you guys brought some popcorn or something, right? Alright, we'll switch that over, come back down here. Loads of fun over here. Now, like I was saying before, see just one little section here, I don't know what, 6, 8 foot, whatever it is over here. Look at all the fun we're having. Look at how complicated we can make this whole ordeal. We just get a nice big bang to it right there. Ooh, right there. Right there's good. Now I do have to put down my controller so I can show you things. And Mr. Sanford's getting a workout because he had to run all the way back over here to normalize that switch. Alright. Now we can start doing our drop-offs finally over here. And as you can see, we have got plenty of room to clear that tank car right there. Right there is good. Look at that. We didn't even go into the street over here. Very nice. All right, let's go for a little steady cam here. Let me try to angle that. There we go. Now, you know what I haven't done yet is the bell. One of the things I kind of said before, way back in my other videos, was when they're operating inside of the industry here, they have to have the bell on. But enough bell, huh? All right, so our 2 locomotives and our 1 boxcar should fit over here with like an inch or so to spare. Right there is good. Perfect. We'll get that flipped over. All right, now, which track they want it on? This one or this one? I guess back there. Why not? We'll do a little bell, just for the heck of it. There's those crazy people out there. I know you guys. You like the bell, don't you? Me? I like the bell for, well, about 2 dings. That's it. Alrighty, now let's see how this is going to work. I'll drop this guy off right over there. There we go, like so. Alright, I'm going to try to put everything down over here without shorting things out. And we're going to go left-handed, which means I'm going to fumble this. Oop, that was easier than I thought. Alright, we got our first drop-off done, and it's only taken, how long? Oop, what's happening here? What did I do? Fat fingered my controller. There we go. And I'm aiming at the ground. Man, oh man. You know what I was thinking too while I had the camera in the freezer there cooling off? I was thinking about the article there from Model Railroader, Lance. And I was thinking, Lance? Wait a minute, I know a Lance. No relation though. Let's see, we'll start inching out over here because now we gotta go grab, brakes off there, Engineer Rick. All right, we gotta go grab one of those cars and stick them back in here. And while we do that, come over here. Lance is all the way over here in orange, right there. Here's Lance. And he is getting whatever they sell over here. He's got his little surfmobile, and he's getting some, I don't know, whatever. Getting something over there, and no relation to Lance Minheim is what I'm trying to get at. And it's actually Lance the Surfer. Lance the Surfer dude. AKA, Apocalypse Now, Lance. All right, so off we go. We got to just go all the way down here. Look at this. This is going to start, everything's going to start going nice and quick here, hopefully. Yeah. Yep, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come over there. We're going to grab our line of tank cars. Whoa, 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 whoa. There, Engineer Rick. Look at this. We almost shorted out the layout. And you're blocking traffic now. Let's get that turned over. Alright, so now we can go over there, grab all our cars. We can drag them all the way down here towards the street, but then we're going to leave 2 of them because we're going to end up shoving those back into where we just were. Down here, like I said, towards the very end. Ooh, slow it down there, Engineer Rick. Benjamin's going to end up falling off. Yep, good connection. Let's keep on going over here. Let's see, where can I put the camera where you can see stuff? What about there, I guess? Right there, perfect. Right next to the power line so I can knock that over and break things off. All right, we'll drop 2 of those guys off right there. We shall continue on. And we can just shove right down into the industry with this sucker and be done with all of our drop-offs. And you can see right over here, we have just enough room. And we got plenty of room. A couple inches on either side right there. Man, loads of fun over here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and drop this guy off. And then we're going to take another little quick breakie for the camera. That's what happens when you're filming in Southern California in 4K. My camera's having a little trouble there getting cooled off. But I think it will stay alive until we actually get up to the end over here and manage to drop this sucker off. Looking nice. Well, now you can see kind of why a lot of times I don't switch out this industry on camera, because it takes forever. All right, just onto the grass right there, and that's good right there. All right, let's drop this guy off and then pull on out of here, and we have got all of our, I'm gonna leave that in there. There we go, perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out of here and let the camera cool down yet once again. All right, guys, there, I took a little break right there in between, and I figured we're gonna finish this up finally, but we gotta do some paperwork here, right? So, oh, by the way, 87, that was our temperature for the max, like just a few minutes ago. Oh boy, all right, let's get some paperwork set up over here. So I got all the car cards that we came in with, and we got to pick up, I guess I just show you all of this. So we got to pick up our box car over there that we picked up right there. And then we got to go over here because we got to go to SoCal Oil, pick that sucker up. We got that one. We got those 2 picked up. And then let me drop you off here. Let's see. There you go. You can see things. So 642, I'm going to stick that one right here, and he's actually in track 2. And then let me take a look at which one we dropped off over here. 113, that's this one. So I'm gonna go put him all the way over there in that box. I don't even know if you can see it. You can barely see it, there we go. And put that one right there. Okay, here's our 2 off-spot cars. And while we were on I was on a little break, I just grabbed a couple of these little off-spot tags. So we will stick that in there, and that in there. And so that way we know that these 2 guys are in an off spot. All right, so now the only thing we're going to do here, I'm going to flip these guys around. We have got, the paperwork is set up for the industry. Let's go ahead and pull on out of here. And as we pull out, what we're going to do, unfortunately, you know, we got to stay within regs and all that stuff. So we could pick these guys up, run back down, and then the 2 tank cars in the back, shove them into their off spot. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch these guys around right here. Let me see where I can put the camera where you can see everything and I don't break stuff. So we're going to grab our tank car first. We're basically just going to swap these 2 guys right here, which is a good thing the tank car did not get connected. When we did come in here, of course, watch now, it'll get connected. Right there, perfect. And this way, we'll have the box car up against the locomotives on our way back. All right, so a little bit of swapping back and forth right here. Right there's good. Man, oh man. Like I said, just one little industry, little switchback in here, and how complicated can we make this? Right there's good. Drop that guy off. We'll keep running back and forth into the industry here too, so we're gonna have to push back a little bit farther next time. Once we get our final pickup over here. Make sure I didn't hit the tank car there. All right, bam, very good. All right, and now, let's see, I don't think you can see the turnout right there. We can kind of see it right there behind the palm tree. We'll switch that. Let's go ahead and, whoop, other way, Engineer Rick. Whoop, let me pick that up. While we're doing that, we're gonna be running out of there. Carl can put his blue flag back in place right there. And we can now stop right there. That will do. All right. Whew. We'll back up. We'll grab our BNSF tank car, and we shall be practically ready to go here. So yeah, that last little break right there, I had to put the camera back in the fridge for a little bit, and then I was just hanging out watching YouTube videos, watching some plane spotting guys. Cali Planes is the name of the channel over there. He's up in SFO doing some plane spotting, plane as in airplanes. All right, and our turnout looks good over there. And hopefully, fresh battery, cooled off camera here, even though it's 86 degrees outside. It's nice and comfortable, I don't know what, inside here. I should get a little thermometer in the garage to see what it actually gets to. All right, let's get that turnout done. Final one, here we go. Let's back it up all the way over here. I'm going to stick you right here where you don't break anything. Better yet, let's stick you back here. I like finding all these little spots where I don't think I've put the camera before. Whew. Alright, I can grab my car cards. We're all set here, and as we're backing up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my 2 tank cars right there. And hopefully get my hands on the controller before we slam into the other cars here. Yep, I forgot to switch that. Ooh, there we go. Right there, we'll kind of slow it down a little bit. Now, all these little cars, that why did I take 3 tank cars over there when I knew there was only 1 spot? Well, to have some fun over here, kind of mix it up. I actually did not know what I was going to do or where I was going to stick these guys until I started filming. That was kind of the fun of it. You know, sometimes we roll dice to get things kind of random and stuff like that. Sometimes when I picked up all of these cars that were in the yard. This is the first train, if you go back a couple of videos there, I had just filled up the yard with a bunch of cars, and then I went randomly throughout the layout and just whatever, started doing stuff that I didn't do before, which is, well, since there's only 1 spot over there for the SoCal Oil little mini industry. Let's stop right there really quick because we got to get our car cards done. Okay, so here's our 2 car cards. We're going to stick them in our off spot little track right there. That looks good. I got to pick those up. Hold on. All right, put that in my pocket. Man, let's get on our way over here. Holy smokes. Benjamin's getting sleepy. You could be riding back there on the other locomotive. All right, we're heading on out, and remember the other train we still got. We've got Mr. Torres and Mr. Torres and the new guy. Mr. Sanford's over here with us, and we can leave that turnout as is. Now, I know this video is getting long, so I'm not going to stop over here. Normally, I would stop right there and change the turnout, but I'm just going to, we're just going to fudge it. Here we go. Ooh, look at this. This works so nice now. Ooh, I love it. Don't have to keep reaching back there. Actually, this one's the one I can't wait till we switch out Sanford and Son. Because this one was the one that was really weird. All right, let me see, where are we going over here? So we got to go around. Look at that. Actually, we're not. We're not going to go around. We're going to take the main line. These guys have been putzing around over here. We're going to run both trains in at once. How's that for excitement? All right, I got those going. Let's see if I can do this. I got to select my other one here. I'm not even going to wait for them to fire up, but we're going to get them rolling. That looks good. That looks good. All right, here we go. We got 2 trains on the same track, rolling at the same time. I'm going to try to switch back and forth between each one. I might be mumbling here because I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. All right, there we go. That one's rolling. All right, I got my controller. I'm trying to control both trains at once, and this one's going too slow. I gotta go back here, grab this one. Come on. We want to run into each other. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna back it up, and let's get this thing down. We can kind of zoom in over here and take a look at the action. I'm kind of running this one a little bit faster because I want to get in the yard. I don't want to screw anything up here. And this is our little maintenance of way train, so he is gonna go. Let's see, I'm gonna put the camera down here. Yep, he's gonna go right there. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of time right here. The other guy is just getting into the yard lead right back there. Alright, we'll put this guy down here, meaning the camera. Alright, and then he's gonna come and go, wrong one. Right there we go. Oh man, excitement, making myself run around over here. Alright, right there guys, holy smokes. Look at that. They're like hanging out over here, freaking out. Alright, now, here comes our next train. Let me get him on the controller. Well, that's kind of fun, huh? Let's see how many trains Engineer Rick can run at once, huh? I think that's a first right here, huh? Alright, we managed to get everything back into the yard. Holy smokes. Whoop. I don't think I broke too many things. Come on, camera. Stay put. Alright guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that fun with Let's Run Trains with Engineer Rick here on a Friday. I'll try to get this thing uploaded as fast as I can. It's kind of big, so it'll probably be kind of late Friday for you guys when it pops up. Anyway guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that stuff. And we got 2 more trains in here. Let's see how complicated we can make that. All these other cars you see sitting around, we're going to be running locals out with them. Alright guys, till next time, take care, have a good weekend. I'll see you in the next crazy ops video over here in SoCal. Sunny and hot, 87 degree. SoCal. Take care, stay warm out there.